Welcome to another episode of Incorporating Superpowers. I am your host, Justin Ruckla, and today we are talking to Jim Padilla, and we're going to be talking about how to gain the edge. Just happens to be the name of his business. How to gain the edge in sales in your business. Jim, thanks so much for being on the show today.
How you doing, Justin? Good to have you, man. Glad to be here.
I'm excited for this conversation because I think you bring something to the show, to the business world that, we all know you have to do sales, right? For some people, it comes super easy, right? Wolf of Wall Street, right? He could sell anything to everybody, right? And then there's people that just struggle at sales. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you're doing to help somebody. You have to be selling something, right?
Right.
And so talk to me a little bit about, and actually real quick, if you're listening to this and you're struggling with sales, Jim is in the Clear Business Directory. You can go check out his profile. He operates from a place of transparency, which is huge, especially in the sales industry. There's so many people out there that are not operating transparently, and you can just call BS. You can see them a mile away. You can smell them when they're standing on stage. And I get the honor of sharing the stage with Jim in July of this year. So I want you to be paying attention. If you're struggling with sales, listen into this conversation. So Jim, let's call out the elephant. What is the big, nasty ugliness in the sales industry that you're seeing today?
Gosh, well, there's so many. Here's the biggest thing. Stop trying to portray something that you're not. Right. That's one of the biggest challenges for people in the marketing and the sales space. It's kind of like with the politicians in the political climate. I've seen politicians in a private setting talk about things that matter. And then you put them in front of a microphone when there's a bunch of pollsters, and all of a sudden they're speaking to the pollsters. I'm like, dude, that wasn't what you said when I saw you say it over here. Over there, it mattered. And over here, it just sounded like some canned response. And we're so busy trying to deliver what we think everybody wants us to say. And what they really want is what you know, what you believe, what you know to be true. Just live on what's real and what you can actually back up.
You know what? In our world, in our language, we call that authenticity. Just be authentic. And I think you're spot on with that, Jim, is that there's too many people nowadays in business because of social media, because of what people think they might, what somebody might say or not say, or what they might think or what they might not think. They come across as overselling. They come across as saying something that they're not. And really, what people are looking for, and it really doesn't matter what sector you're in or what industry you're in, just show up authentically. And we've lost so much of that today. So what are some things that you share with your folks on how to do that?
Yeah, well, the first part is getting crystal clear. You have to have a great relationship with the truth. That's one of the biggest challenges, because when you can speak the truth, then it does two things. It allows you to actually tell what you can do and what you're capable of, and you trust yourself. Anybody listening to this, how many times has this happened to you? You get off of a sales call and you go, oh, man, if I would have just said this, or if I would have just said that. And it's not because you didn't think of it, because you did think of it. You were just too afraid to tell them it because you knew if you said it, they might not like you. So you held back the truth. And that truth is what was going to move the needle, move them forward, and make the difference. You've got to start learning to trust your instincts because they're there for a reason. You know they need to be doing something different. If somebody's saying something and you're like, boy, I don't even know if he's really telling me the truth right there, but you're only saying it to yourself, you have failed that potential client.
I absolutely love that. And I'm going to take it the other direction as well, is in not speaking the truth. If you've got somebody on the horn who has money, but you know they're not ready for you, it's okay for them to say no. As a matter of fact, as a service provider, you're obligated to make sure they know what they're getting involved with, so you don't just take their money.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. So truth is truth. Nothing sells like the truth. And be okay with that, because you'd be amazed at how many people you pass on who free up time for you to work with the ideal clients, right? We do outsource sales. So we work with a lot of, 7 and 8 figure clients, and we run sales for people like Zig Ziglar Foundation and, Lisa Sasevich, and et cetera. And we pass on a lot of people. There's a lot of people we can't work with because it's not ideal, because they won't tell the truth in marketing, right? We will only work with clients that we know are telling the truth, that are delivering results, that can stand behind who they say they are, and that are really authentic and real.
You know, that's truly what the world needs more of. And I love the fact that you talked about it in politics. You know, people are just wanting to see more authenticity in politics, you know, and wherever you stand, I think that's kind of where, you know, I think Trump does a pretty good job of that. You know, I think you know, Gary Vee in business does a really good job of
Yeah.
that. You know, there's a lot of people that are really good at doing that and modeling that, but it takes practice, right? You got to be able to overcome that fear. One of my very first sales coaches, you know, I'm having her back on the show. One of the things that she told me was, you know, you just got to do it. You just got to walk through it. So how do you work with your clients in getting them to that place of being able to sell from a place of authenticity?
Well, we run it we have two different arms. We have our outsource, and then we have an peak performance network where we help keep people optimizing. And it's not about being a rock star salesperson. It's just about being crystal clear about who you serve and how. Right. So if you're an expert at what you do, you should be able to talk about it 7 days a week and, you know, twice on Sundays and have no problem. And you don't have to worry about making false claims and false promises, because it's not going to come up, because you're the expert. You're in that spot. And it doesn't matter how big or small your client is. You're the expert in this lane. Now, it might be a teeny little sliver of the world, but if that's your domain, you own it. And you got to speak to your badassery, because if you don't claim it, nobody else will.
Mm. You know, that is, I think that's the key ingredient, right? You are the boss of you. You know your niche. Nobody else knows it. Own that.
All day.
And I think what it is I think what happens is entrepreneurs and business owners, especially those that are in startup mode, get caught in this place of fear, because they know what's just on the other side of that is their greatness and being able to help people, right? So, what is one of your superpowers? What are one of the things that you see that you use as a superpower in your business?
Number one is we've got this insane ability to attract amazing people. So we bring amazing people into our world, both clients and team. And then we trust them. We surround them with the right environment, equip them with the tools they need, and we trust them to do what they say they're going to do. And we let them have the freedom to roam. And then the other part is, you know, we've been blessed with this ability to help infuse, we call it a brand assimilation. Like, we can step into any environment and influence that environment into our direction, which is what makes us awesome in this space. Because, you know, I spent my whole life as an abused kid and in foster care and living on the streets and in jail, learning how to bend the will of the people around me to lean my direction, primarily because that was the only way I wasn't going to get beat up or get killed. And then, you know, little did I know 20 years later that I'd be making millions of dollars teaching people how to influence people around them to trust you enough to let down your guard so that you can give a credit card and buy something. Because the most of the time, the reason people don't buy from you is not because they don't need what you have. It's because they're too busy trying to protect themselves to actually listen to you. Yeah. And it's important that you can help them diffuse that situation so they'll actually lean in and listen and find out that what you're saying matters.
I absolutely love that. In superpower terms, at Superpower Experts, that's something that we call energetic manipulation. So, folks, if you've been following us for a while, what Jim is talking about here, that ability to bend the will of others, whatnot, that is a level of energetic manipulation. It is a superpower, and a lot of you probably are experienced with this, and you didn't know what it was. But this is how, and this is why I'm doing this show, is to show you how people like Jim are applying these superpowers. That's what the show is called, Incorporating Superpowers into your life. And this is something that Jim has been able to do, like he said, all of his life, to be able to bend the world to his outcome and bring people into that energy space and using those powers for good. Jim, I absolutely love everything that you're saying. It is so needed in business today. You know, more and more people need to be able to tap into that kind of superpower, get that kind of training, and how it applies to business. It's absolutely important. Where can people go find more information about you?
Yeah, the best place, say, find us on Facebook. we have a group called See You at Seven. It's SEEYOUAT, the number seven. And we're all about helping you scale your business to that first seven figures or helping you get to that next seven. And we're here. We share everything. We share the insights that we learn with all the thousands of campaigns that we serve. We run 25,000 sales conversations a year as a company. And we share all that knowledge with people so that it's not about sales training. It's about you peak performing and optimizing yourself as a human being, which leads people. You show up as a higher version of yourself, and it automatically calls other people up to that version. And from there, people make powerful decisions.
This is good stuff. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back because we're going to dive into some of the meat and potatoes here of some even more of Jim's superpowers and how you can apply these things to your own business. But real quick shout out to our show sponsor, Crypto Wealth Coach. Bitcoin's on the rise. Make sure you take a look. Crypto Wealth Coach Seth Money. Here's a video from them. Stand by.
Are you an entrepreneur who speaks at conferences? Have you attended a conference and seen someone on stage you know is guilty of bad business practices? If you want to stand out from the crowd and give your prospective clients peace of mind, then make sure your business is in the Clear Directory. All of our members operate in transparency and are screened annually for frauds and scams. Stand out from the crowd and get in the Clear Directory. Visit clearbusinessdirectory.com/join to sign up today.
Welcome back to Incorporating Superpowers. I'm your host, Justin Rekla. And today we are talking to Jim Padilla from Gain the Edge, talking about superpowers, sales, authenticity, the whole shebang. Jim, this is one of the reasons why I love going to CEO Space, because it's unlike any other business conference out there. Folks, if you've ever been to a business conference, there's a little bit of information from the front of the stage, and then it's run to the back of the room and buy my shit, right? CEO Space is anything but that. And this is why I love the fact that Jim's going to be joining us at CEO Space, because it's all about giving, contributing, showing up in full authenticity, and trusting that the universe is going to provide the clients that you just pick up naturally when you show up from the place of authenticity. I know, because it's what we've been doing for the last 8 years and why we continue to go back and contribute to that organization. So Jim, I'm super excited to see you at an upcoming forum, and I think the network is going to be extremely blessed that you're coming to be a part of it.
Outstanding.
Now I want to dive into this a little bit more with you.
All right.
How long did it take you before you really hit your first seven figures? And at what point in time in your life did you realize that you had the ability to help other people do the same?
Well, I've had several very successful businesses in the past that have all ended up crashing and burning at one level because of some crazy entrepreneur mistakes. But in this realm, I because of my harsh environment growing up, I learned to, again, bend the will of my environment to my good, but primarily for my own good. I really learned that I had to take care of me. So in order for me to win, I thought everybody else had to lose. So I made sure that I used my influence to take from others. And in 2008, I was in mortgage, and I was a big part of the whole industry bust because I put a lot of people in loans they had no business being in because I got paid a lot of money to do it. And in summer of 2008, I put a woman in a loan, 72-year-old woman who had a loan she had no business being in. I saw her daughter at a gas station that summer, and she came up to me and said, "You're a crook and you're a liar, and my mother is living in that car, and you deserve whatever comes your way." And right in that moment, I knew she was right, and I had nothing to say. I really wanted to die in that moment. I was hoping a car would run me over, something would happen, because I did not want to deal with the reality of that moment. And everything kind of came rushing back to me where, all these amazing skill sets that I have, and that I've been doing it for the wrong purpose. And I realized there has to be a better way. And so I learned in that moment, I decided I'm going to take everything about the sales process that was no good or harmful or didn't feel good, throw it away, leave in everything that felt good and was of service to other people. And that's how I was going to sell from now on. And so I literally just started focusing on how do I show up to give and to serve. Give and serve and problem solve. Just like Zig Ziglar says, we want what you want. You got to help enough people get what they want. And that became my sole mission. And that was 2008. Now we're in 2019. We make millions of dollars. We sold over $250 million for our clients. We win this way. We literally, when we sell for people and we teach, we do not show up trying to close a sale. We show up trying to help you find what you need. And if that means hooking you up with somebody else, selling you something different, not selling you anything, whatever it takes, it's all about you getting crystal clear on what you want, making sure, challenging you to make sure you're ready to actually go pursue it, and then helping you be accountable enough to take the action and move in that direction. And if you've done everything right, you probably positioned so they're going to want to buy from you to help make that happen. But that's not the point of the conversation. Get on phone calls to help solve people's problems. That's all I do. I literally, guys, my calendar is full, and all I do is talk to people about solving their problems. Many times it's with me, many times it's with others, but to the tune of millions of dollars, the benefit is always a win because we're not worried about the outcome. We're more worried about them being taken care of.
You know, that as you were sharing that story, first and foremost, thank you. I mean, I could feel you in that space. Folks, it doesn't get more authentic than that. I mean, that's what we call a moment of clarity.
Yes.
In recognizing that what you're doing, while it might be working, what good is it putting out in the world, right? I mean, the law of reciprocity. I know you're probably familiar with it. I mean, it's essentially what you teach is the law of reciprocity. And folks, there is nothing more important in business than this. And when you come up against somebody that's trying to sell you, and you can feel it, pay attention to it. You can feel the intention behind it. If they're just truly trying to sell you, you know it. You know, and honestly, you don't abdicate your power to anybody. Go get the help that you need. Seek the help, but seek it from those that are wanting to help, not from those that are wanting to sell. Because there's two differences. You can sell something and be helpful, but people that are just selling to sell, you know, it's broken. It's what's given business a bad name. It's what's given big corporations a bad name. But it's people like Jim that are out there changing the way business gets done, operating from a place of authenticity and transparency. And you heard it. If you listen to it, I mean, I got the chills when you shared that story, Jim. You know, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. I mean, $250 million worth of sales for your clients. Folks, he's doing something right. So, Jim, what's a piece of some additional advice that you would give our listeners on stepping through fear of being judged, or fear of what people might think, or fear of somebody saying no because they're speaking the truth?
You know, let me just share it like this. Start treating people like they're your clients before they become your clients. And they just might actually become your clients. You know somebody, you think of your best friend or your favorite sibling. And if you were out to coffee with them today and they said something like, man, my business is struggling really bad and I don't know what to do about it, but I have a solution over here, but I'm just afraid to do it. So I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait till next year. What would you say to them if that was a person you actually cared about? You would say, dude, pull your head out, get in this program, solve this problem. You are not waiting till next year. You can't afford to wait till next year. You would say that to somebody you care about, but you won't say that to somebody on the other end of the line. But you're going to try to profess that you care about them. If you actually take the initiative and treat those people like they were already your client, they just might become your client.
I absolutely love that. And, you know, folks, here's the thing. If somebody's in a position to be able to help you, one, if they've got the magic sauce, if they got the secret sauce, if they got the program, they're going to be willing to help you in the moment, because they know ultimately that you're going to need assistance getting through it on the other side, and that most people aren't going to go out and execute and do it on their own, which is why you're seeking help in the first place, right? And so if they're withholding information, if they're withholding, saying I can share that with you, but it's going to cost you $5, $10, $15,000, there's an issue with that. Because if there's from that place, they're doing it from a place of scarcity and fear. But if they're like, hey, here's some information, you're not ready financially, I get it. Well, here's some information, take a step forward. And they're treating you like he said, like Jim said, like you're their client already. That's completely different. And you know, and if you do that with your own clients, forget about it. You're going to scale up so fast. You're going to be bringing in so many new referrals and leads. It just, the law of reciprocity, the universe will provide that. Jim, I could talk about this kind of stuff for days. Again, where can our listenership go listen, go find more information about you?
Like I said, you can find us on Facebook at See You at 7 Facebook group. You can also check out my podcast. It's salesunscripted.com. Check it out. We got, there's some good interviews on people scaling business. And there's a lot of me just ranting about a lot of the great stuff that'll change your mind, change your life if you let it in business, and change how you do sales.
I love it. I love it. Go check it out. We'll make sure we have a link for Jim's group down below in the show notes. A link to his podcast down in the show notes. Make sure you check it out. Jim, thank you so much for being on the show today. I can hardly wait to meet you in person in Dallas. And
yeah, looking forward to it.
I'm sure we're gonna have lots of conversations. So I appreciate your time with us today.
All right, right on, Justin. Thanks a lot.
All right, buddy. Thanks so much. Bye.